Hi friends, it's Shuba. Welcome back to my channel. I love to read books. I also love to buy books. Reading books and shopping for books are two separate hobbies. Today is Independent Bookstore Day, so I'm going to take you along as we hop around. That's me hopping around. We're gonna go to some Kansas City local bookstores and support my favorite bookstores on Independent Bookstore Day. I hope you have fun and enjoy watching, and I'm gonna enjoy buying some books. We'll do a haul after. Bye. Hi, it's me, and this is what I'm wearing today. A little OOTD outfit of the day. I'm wearing comfy black wide leg jeans from Gap, a white t-shirt from Lululemon, and my oversized denim jacket from a local boutique, keeping it casual. I'll be wearing black boots, but I don't wear my outdoor shoes inside. Ew. Don't forget, Luisa's Mother's Day sale is here. Shop now and find the perfect gift for your mother figure in your life or yourself with jewelry starting at $39. Link is down below. Now let's get shopping. Our first stop is Flagship Books in Strawberry Hill. Logan and I have never been there before, and it was such a delight. It's small, but they had quite a selection of new and used books. I loved the lighting and the wall art that they had. Hi, Logan. We did end up getting the same book to buddy read together. Here's us trying to navigate Kansas City without Google Maps. Ha! Just kidding, that's not a real map. Could you imagine though? I don't think I could do that. The Kansas City skyline is so pretty. Isn't she beautiful? Just take a moment to look at it. Our second stop was Under the Cover Kansas City, one of our favorites. It was packed. Logan is a sucker for romantasy, and I just love. It's hard to ever leave Under the Cover empty-handed. We each got a few books and then decided it was time for a little treat, so we bopped over to Bliss Books and Wine. Every year they have local vendors and authors come in to set up their little booths. We had some wine, Logan made a bookmark, and I made a Kindle charm. I also got myself one of those linked permanent bracelets. It was just such a fun, creative experience. Our next two stops were both very new to us. We made it over to Black and Brown Books, and it was really neat. Very small, but I loved the aesthetic and what they had to offer. Then we stopped by Wise Blood KC, which is inside Mills Record Store in Westport. They have a large variety of books. It was just fun to explore their bookshelves and see what used books they had. I personally didn't get anything, but Logan ended up getting something. The last stop for the day was beloved Rainy Day Books. We had to say hi to our friends and pick up some books for ourselves. Cool. I accidentally filmed an entire clip sharing my book haul on slow motion. So that's so great. So good. I'm having the best time ever. Let me try this again. Independent Bookstore Day was a few days ago, and I finally have recovered from that wonderful experience. Logan and I bopped around to a lot of different bookstores, as you saw from my B-roll, and now I'm gonna do a quick book haul and share what books I got. Out of those bookstores, there was one of my favorites that I didn't get a chance to go to on Saturday, and that's because we did not check the times. We strategically planned out what bookstores to go to in what order based on location. So we started up north at Flagship and then made our way south. And we were going to end at Monstera's Books and Plant Shop, but they closed early. And that's on them maybe. They should have stayed up later because of Independent Bookstore Day. It's okay though, because I did end up going on Sunday the next day. I added an extra day to my Independent Bookstore Day adventure and I turned it into a weekend before I got my nails done. And I did get one book from them. It is The Passion Project by London Sperry. Look at this cover, it's stunning. It reminds me of Cara Baston's Ready or Not and Passion Project, Promise Me Sunshine, both books of which I loved. And I've heard that if you love the Promise Me Sunshine, then you'll love this book. And if you saw my video, you'll know that I loved Promise Me Sunshine, so I'm probably going to love this book. Based on what I know about this story, this is about our main character. Her name is Bennett, and she lives in New York City, and she's having the worst time of her life. She is about to upend and move out of town. She goes on this first date with a guy named Henry. And Henry loves New York City. He's going to convince her to stay, and he's going to help her fall in love with the shit city that she lives in. I almost said shitty. So what they do is they build this passion project where every single week or weekend, I believe, I'm not sure what the time frame is, they're gonna hang out and he's gonna teach her to fall in love with New York City. And I think that's how they're gonna go from kind of strangers to maybe friends to hopefully lovers. Well, we know that the lovers is definitely a part of the relationship, but how we get there, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna have to read to find out. Now we're gonna backtrack to Saturday and start from Flagship Books, where our first stop was, and make our way back to the end when we ended up at Rainy Day Books. Logan and I got the same book from Flagship Books. We both got I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. This is a small but mighty book, and I constantly say this, but I've heard so many people talking about this book, and especially how timely it is to read it now. This is supposed to be a psychological story, basically about a group of women who have no memory of how they got there, but they're imprisoned, and the 40th girl shows up. And she's an outcast in the corner. She's going to basically be the person who's going to help them escape and survive the strange world that awaits them above ground. The prison is underground. That's all I really know about this story, and I've just heard to go into it not knowing much about it, which is why this is what I'm gathering, and we're probably gonna buddy read it together, and I can't wait. The next bookstore that I got books from is Under the Cover Kansas City, which is a romance bookstore and one of my favorites. I love going in there, checking out the romance collection, but they also have non-romance books, and I got 2 books, one of which is definitely not a romance, and then one of which is a romantasy. Listen, I know I already have a few series that I need to read. However, I wanted to get this romantasy because everyone's talking about it, and I'm feeling this slump with romantasy books lately because they're all the same, and I've heard that this book is not the same and something that hopefully I will like, and it is the first book in the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen. Yes, there is an L in there. I am really excited to read this book. Also, it's really pretty. It's about a warrior princess trained in isolation. She's driven by 2 certainties. The first is that the King Arin of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy, and the second is that she's going to kill him, I think. So that's where the story takes place, and I think she's gonna go on an adventure. We will see, but I do know that a lot of booktubers really enjoy this series, and I know that my friend Steph, she liked this book and the series, so I'm hoping to like it just like her because I trust her opinion and her judgment. The next book I got, like I said, is not a fantasy or a romance. It's a horror book called The Witchcraft, there's no "the" in there, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix is actually one of my favorite thriller horror authors. My favorite book by him is The Southern Guide to Slaying Vampires. Oh, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I'll put it right here just so I'm not saying it incorrectly. I love that book so much. It's so funny and clever and well written. And I've been eyeing this book. This book is on my 25 books to read in 2025. And I figured I'd just get a copy because I really like how it looks. Yes, I know it is a hardback. I've accepted it. We're moving on. I am a hardback follower now. I kind of do enjoy the feeling of holding the hardback. It's not super floppy. I don't know. I got it. This is basically a story that takes place in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. The last sentence says, I'm skipping everything so I don't spoil anything for myself. There is always a price to be paid, and it's usually paid in blood. Ah! Very excited to read this book. I am probably going to read it more so in the fall, but at least now I have it. The last bookstore where I did some shopping at, it was from Rainy Day Books. I got 3 books. This first one just seems very fitting because summertime is coming, and summer is usually when Mark and I play a lot of pickleball, and I got Pickleballers by Alana Long. What a fun cover. I believe this is going to be a enemies to lovers situation, and let me guess, if I had to guess, I think it's going to revolve around pickleball. That's all I know. I know that this author is a debut author, and this is her first novel, so I'm excited to read it and support her. The last 2 books, I was going to say 1, but there's 2 books total, is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy. It is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I have the first 2 books in the trilogy. I'm actually reading The Well of Ascension, which is the 2nd book with Chelsea as a buddy read. I decided I just should pick it up since we are already reading it at the moment, and I should be done shortly. I'm almost halfway through, and I'm enjoying it so far. But I picked up the 3rd one, the final one of the trilogy, and after that, we'll see if I want to continue because the Cosmere is big. It's a commitment for sure. And then this last book I've heard a lot of talk about. It's not something I would normally pick up, but also just sounds really interesting. It's called Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McGonaghy. She wrote Once There Were Wolves and Migrations. The cover is beautiful. The story takes place in a tiny town in Antarctica, which is also where the largest seed bank is located. And so not a lot of people live there, but there is a family that lives there where this story is centered around. What happens one day is that a woman washes up the shore. And I think that's where the mystery of it is, because everyone's like, how did she get there? What the heck? Who is she? And the story is centered around Mother Nature. It's supposed to be very atmospheric, and it sounds really interesting. It sounds really good. I'm excited to read it. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but we're also trying to read books where we don't normally pick up and gravitate toward. So this sounds really good. A lot of people that I know have read it and they've enjoyed it. Those are the books that I purchased for Independent Bookstore Day. If you went book shopping, let me know down below where you shopped, what books you got, what you're most excited for, and I can't believe that May is here and summer is just around the corner. I will see you in another video next week. Bye.